a flame of inspiration and action. August 8, 2014. Source speaks. Open your minds and hearts to me, and you will find me. Let yourselves believe you can connect with me in a real and pure way, and you'll find that you're easily able to. Embrace me if the idea of making a connection resonates with you, and if it doesn't, let yourselves wait to connect. It will resonate eventually, because in time, you'll hunger for me as much as your society hungers for material things. I have so much to offer you, dearest children, but the assistance I intend to provide can only be accessed if it's enthusiastically requested. You wanted to separate from me and experience the lower vibration you'd created for yourselves, and at any time, you can reconnect with me by venturing as far into your center as possible. In doing so, you'll be able to transmit a wealth of advice and guidance from various higher dimensional entities and collectives, and while you can spend all day chatting with them, when you're finished, you can feel free to convene with me. Do you remember? Can you feel, somewhere in the creation-wide databank of knowledge and information you can each access, the memories of existing in my pure and undistorted realms? Of course, none of you will be able to consciously recall them right now, but as your vibration continues to rise, you'll find that you're eventually flooded with memories of previous higher vibrational travels and adventures. Your memories will continue to flood your perspective as you traverse the various dimensions that'll eventually lead you back to me. The more of an effort you make to reconnect with the higher realms and use this connection to help yourselves and the planet around you become aware that something exists beyond the limitations of your third-dimensional reality, the quicker your higher vibrational memories will come flooding in, and the more enthusiastically you'll remember and embrace them. Your missions are very important, and if you could only feel the appreciation I have for each of you, you'd understand that you're infinitely and eternally loved by me and every facet of consciousness in the higher realms. Your higher selves and guides seek to assist you along your growth and development, and the love I and all of my higher vibrational creations feel for you goes deeper than we could express through any channel. Some of you may find it difficult to believe that you can actually connect with me, but it becomes much easier when you realize that you're one with me. You're each sparks of my omnipotent consciousness, and you've each funneled yourselves down from my realms to exist in lower, distorted realms for the purpose of creation and enjoyment. You each contain a spark of my essence, and this spark can never burn out. Many souls have turned this spark into a full-on flame of inspiration and action, and they're growing closer with me than those who continue to remain unaware of their inner spark or the magnificent burning flame that can result from it. Given that you contain my essence within your physical temples, connecting with me can be a breeze if you let it. The same can be said for the various other higher dimensional souls who seek to connect with you, and before I make my final expressions for this communication, I'd like to allow another group of souls to come through and speak. This group has been referred to as the Company of Heaven, and with my assistance, they watch and assist you whenever and wherever possible. The Company of Heaven speaks. With loving appreciation to the source of existence, we are the Company of Heaven. We too note that it's difficult for many souls to believe they can connect with us, and your ability to connect with the higher realms is as infinite as your coming to discover who you are. You can pick up on the energies and impressions of every higher dimensional soul you're willing to believe you can connect with, and you're the only ones who can limit yourselves. Connecting with specific guides and teachers. No soul in the higher realms or on earth can tell you who you can or can't connect with, and as long as you're willing to believe you're capable of making the sacred connections you're starting to make, everything else will flow gracefully. If you want to connect with us, you can. It really is this simple, but it's easy to complicate by overthinking or striving too hard. However impossible channeling various entities and collectives might seem, you've been capable of it for longer than we can express. Your abilities as channels go much deeper than you've let yourselves believe, and while connecting with your higher selves will always be the most important and beneficial thing you can do with your channeling abilities, many of you will benefit from connecting with specific guides and teachers who have a lot to offer you. Of course, you aren't inherently required to connect with us, or even your higher selves and guides, If channeling doesn't resonate with you, not everyone will agree on the same routes back to source, but no matter which route you use, you'll eventually find what you're looking for, and you'll be very glad you sought it in the first place. Whether you channel the energies and impressions of the higher realms, write beautiful poetry or music, or do anything else creative and spiritually inspired, it'll help you find your way back into the loving arms of Source. You're making your way out of the dense and immeasurably challenging lower vibrations, and as you do, you rediscover something so far outside of your current perception that it requires adjustment and the ability to lay down the wants and demands of the ego. In laying the ego down, you'll connect with unfathomably pure realms of energy, insight, and understanding, and you'll find that you're infinitely able to connect with a wide range of ascended beings who, for the most part, you've just started to realize you can contact and communicate with. However difficult it might be for some to believe, we're doing everything we can to communicate with you. We want to help you become aware of spirit and the necessity to follow your heart and intuition in everything you do, but we don't necessarily want you to fixate yourselves on us or our communications as if we're the only genuine source of spiritual information available. We aren't, and in fact, some souls won't find our communications any more genuine than others. This is okay, because again, reading channeled messages or bringing them through yourself isn't inherently required to traverse the ascension path. All that's required is love and the willingness to open up to the divine bounties that await your perception, and if you're willing to do this, everything else will fall in line. The beliefs you advocate and empower along the way, such as the belief that we the company of heaven exist and actively seek to communicate with you, don't matter as much as the clear, focused, heart-centered effort you make to use these beliefs for good. Whether or not others believe the same things you do doesn't matter as much as your willingness to do the work that springs from your beliefs, and as long as you find and act on this willingness, little else will matter. You can empower every belief under the sun, or you can cease empowering any beliefs altogether. Humanity has become attached to belief systems because you want to define and understand your external reality, but the era of labeling and focusing on the external is quickly drawing to a close. In its place will be an era of widespread spiritual understanding, and when consciousness and awareness grow to new heights, all of humanity will be awake and willing to do the inner work that's required to bring your planet into the light. Some souls will take up channeling. Others will take up general light work. Some won't believe in either concept, but they'll still spiritually excel as much as anyone else. No matter what you believe or empower, your work to bring humanity into the light is very important, and we watch you do this work with love in our one heart and appreciation for the nearly tireless labor you continue to perform. Conclusion. We'll make our final expressions for this communication, together with Source, with encouragement to expand your understanding of what you're capable of. Those of you who resonate with channeling are encouraged to understand that you can connect with far more beings and collectives than your higher selves, and those of you who advocate other concepts are equally encouraged to expand your perspective of them. In regards to channeling, we encourage connecting primarily with the higher self before connecting with other entities and collectives, but after you maintain this connection for so long, there's nothing wrong with expanding your ability and seeing who else you can connect with. If you're open and receptive enough, you'll find the willing communication of a plethora of beings and collectives who've been waiting for humanity to connect with us so we can offer our advice and guidance in an effort to assist you along your difficult ascension journey. You don't have to believe in us or our communications, and if you don't, we'll gladly remain outside of your sphere of perception because we don't want to violate your free will. When you're ready, however, you can delve deeper into the channeling pool than you would have thought possible, and connect with multitudes of souls who are ready to offer our perspective and, hopefully, help waves of fellow seekers in the process. Keep expanding your perception and your abilities, and know that it's all for a very important and very, very necessary purpose. Thank you to Source and the Company of Heaven. Channeled through Wes Anak. cultureofawareness.com